Yes! Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for All In Weekend on your Saturday afternoon, July the 12th, 2025. Thank you for watching this particular video. Excuse me, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 6-6. We got a long day of wrestling. 9. Yeah, we got a long day, ladies and gentlemen. Long day. But thank you for watching on Killer of Demons 669. I am your host, Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit that subscribe button downstairs in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. On this channel, my respective channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but don't leave stupid comments. I will come to your house, kick your ass, place you in Iron Maiden, send you to hell or the Shadow Realm, and then Satan will eat your soul. So please don't do that. Be respectful of my channel, or get the fuck off. Go to your dead channel with however amount of subs you have, and nobody gives two fucks about it. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you do, well, fuck you, man! That's it. You missed it, and I can't help you there. Let me move on with that. So, once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the video if you like. Don't forget to tap that bell. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that other good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself an Arnold Palmer or whatever you got. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You don't, get out, go fuck yourself, and try to get a life. But for some of you, you gotta try harder. That's all I really gotta say about that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm dead tired, but I'm going to try to watch 7 straight hours of wrestling starting at 3 p.m. We got All In Texas, the WrestleMania for AEW, coming up in 45 minutes from now from Global Life Field, where the Texas Rangers play in I think it was Arlington, Texas, or somewhere in Texas. Oh, it's Texas. So we got that big card. We got about 9 matches to get through. The big one, the Texas Death Match between Jon Moxley and the number 1 contender, the man who won the Men's Owen Hart Cup, and that is the Hangman, Adam Page. He's gonna do some cowboy shit, and we're gonna get a lot of blood. But can this be the day finally be the day that the Death Riders storyline and the Bucks storyline, them controlling AEW, finally end? Or will it sadly continue on for the next 5 months? So we'll see what happens with that. But there is breaking news, and it's not happy, it's not great. Ladies and gentlemen, it sucks, but it was announced on Twitter, on the AEW Twitter page, that there's a change to the AEW TNT title, and I'm sad to report that Adam Cole, baby, had to relinquish the TNT title due to injury, and he was not medically cleared to do the match today, so he was stripped of the title, and now we got an interim TNT title. TNT champion will be crowned. So Adam Cole is out, and Fletcher is still in the match. He will be taking on the Dancing Fool, Danny Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes, the Sons of Texas. So they're in it, even though they're the tag team champions. Dustin is 1/3 of the Ring of Honor Trios champions. So Dustin can really do well for himself and gain the TNT title. So we'll have 3 belts. But, so we'll see what happens with that. Sucks that Adam Cole, I don't know how he got injured. He must have got injured on Collision this past Thursday night in that hellacious match, that match where Fletcher was in it. There was a 6 or 8 man tag team match. Must have got injured somehow. There was a previous injury that we didn't know about. But Adam Cole is out. and he is no longer the TNT champion. So there goes. Well, I had Adam Cole to retain. Now I'm probably going with Fletcher to pick up the victory, hold the belt, and so Adam Cole, baby, is medically cleared. Hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully this is just a minuscule little injury. He'll be back for Wednesday Dynamite or next week's Collision, and it doesn't keep him out of action for at most a couple weeks. But we'll see what happens with that. It sucks for him. He had a pretty decent run, great feud with MJF on his way back from that horrible ankle injury. Then he had that trilogy of matches with Danny Garcia, finally wins the title. And then he had a couple of title defenses, which obviously he won, but it was tough. One of them being Takeshita, but they were targeting that ankle. I don't know if he re-aggravated it, what happened, maybe his neck, who knows. But Adam Cole is out, but I think, like I said, he will be back, hopefully relatively short. I would say a couple weeks, and then they can have Fletcher win the belt, and then Fletcher's like, and then Adam Cole's like, I would have beat you anyway, blah, 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 and then Adam Cole gets his rematch. Hopefully he wins the belt back for the second time, and they can go with their plans that they were going to do past All In. So maybe he goes to All Out, gets the belt back from Fletcher, and then we'll see what happens with that. But sad news for all us Adam Cole marks out there. So he is out. New TNT champion will be crowned today. So that's that. And we move on. Alright, but I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. A little bit humid here in the Northeast. Going to get a little bit hot by the time we hit Monday and the middle of next week, which is the halfway point through the month of July. The sun is going down a little bit little bit more. Not at 8:30 anymore. It's going down to about 8:20, 8:25. By the time we hit the end of August, the sun's going to be going down around 7:30, quarter to 8. So we still got a long day of sunlight, but the days are going to get shorter up until we hit pretty much by Halloween, and then we fall back, and then it's dark by 5 o'clock. So by the time we get out of work, it's dark. For some of you here on the East Coast. And I'm not that, but, we got about a month and a half to go. Actually, we got 2 full months of summer left, but we got 6 official weeks left of summer. Unofficially, we have 6 weeks left of unofficial summer, because as we hit Labor Day weekend, which is the unofficial end of summer, and back to school for you kiddies out there, not that I really care about that, but, because I'm out of school. But we got that. So the summer will unofficially end in 6 weeks, but officially end in 2 months. So we're counting down those days till the great month of fall. Football season's coming up. Baseball season's going to be ending the first half of the baseball season ends on Sunday. We got the All-Star game on Tuesday, Home Run Derby on Monday, and then back at it for the second half of the baseball season starting on Friday. So we'll see what happens with all that and more. Alright, really quickly, before we jump into All In and the NXT Great American Bash, check out my videos on my respective channels for that. Episode 75 and 76 of the Shadow Slayer 2.0 series. Link to the channel will be down below. Check out the newest videos on episode 75 and 76. Like I said, my Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor predictions. It was a great show. Mina, the new interim women's TV champion. Great for her. Very happy to hear that. Bandito, still our Ring of Honor World Champion. Athena, still the forever women's champion. Sammy and Dustin retain the tag team belts. Nick freaking Wayne retained the men's TV title. And Lee Moriarty retained the Pure title. So nothing really changed last night of the titles except for Mina winning the interim women's TV title because Red Velvet from Your Mama's Kitchen, it got injured. Kind of like the same thing what Adam Cole did. So I had to strip her of the title momentarily. So there was a four-way between Mina, Miyu Yamashita, I think, and two other people. Mina made Miyu Yamashita tap out. And we got that. There is a new member of Ring of Honor coming your way, and her name is Sayuri, S-Y-U-R-I. I hope I'm saying that right, but she's coming from Stardom, going to be joining the AEW and Ring of Honor roster. I'd love to see her and Mina go at it, because they've gone at it in Stardom. So that might be Mina's next opponent, but we'll see. But her name is Sayuri or Sayuri? Siri? No. But we got that. So a pretty good Supercard of Honor. I pretty much gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. So I'm not going to do a full review because I don't need to. But we got all that. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, so we got All In coming away and the Bash. Should be some great shows. The Bash will end at about 5:30 or so. And All In supposedly it's going about 7:30, and then we'll take a little break and then get ready for Saturday's main event beginning at 8 p.m. tonight on NBC, which is going to be a great show there. Goldberg's final match against Walter for the Raw World title. I hope Walter beats him in 5 minutes. We got that. We got Solo Mibuki defending the U.S. title against Jimmy Uso. You know MFT is going to be there. Jacob is probably going to somehow be around. I don't think the OTC one, that's Roman, will be there until SummerSlam. But we got that. We're 3 weeks away from SummerSlam. So we're getting there. We're getting to the party of the summer pretty damn soon. Can't wait for that. So, lots of wrestling. So, let me get to this review, and then after Saturday night's main event, we'll talk about All In and the Great American Bash in a double review over on my Peter Joseph channel. And then tomorrow, we'll talk about Saturday's main event. We'll do, well, I would do the Ring of Honor review, but since Ring of Honor was before Supercard, I am scrapping the Ring of Honor portion of the review. I would do TNA on Monday. So, just your TNA review on Monday to get it out of the way. But Ring of Honor review will be coming back this coming Thursday night on the program, or Friday, whenever I do it. So, we got that. Get all that? I hope you wrote it down. But please hit that bell so when those videos go up, you don't miss it. Hopefully. And if you do miss it, well, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the bell again. Hopefully that works. And we move on. Alright, as we go into All In, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. We're going to WWE for a little bit. But it is time for yours late and kind of out of date WWE Smackdown. Thoughts, Justin? Thoughts? Alright, so quick thoughts for Smackdown last night. The so-called go-home show before tonight's Saturday night's main event show on NBC in Atlanta, and tomorrow night's Evolution 2 Electric Boogaloo women's event coming away from, I believe, Atlanta as well. And that's going to be a humongous show that a lot of people didn't really give a fuck about at first, and now it's pretty much almost sold out, which is crazy. See what a little oomph by Mr. Hickenbottom can do? So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's get into the Smackdown from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Yep! Yep! And we got that. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so we had on commentary Joe Tessitore, who took a tumble during the show. Damn, he didn't get hurt because they, Hunter? Paul? I'm waiting by the phone. Give me a call. I'll be on the next plane to whatever the next event is. I'm ready. I'm ready to take Joe Tessitore's place. So, and I love to sit next to this guy. He knows a lot about music, and he plays a mean electric twanger, and that's bad news, Wade Barrett. No, I'm afraid, Joe, I got some bad news for you. Alright, we got a lot of, we got 3 shows tonight, we got 1 tomorrow, so we got 4 shows left, and then we're going to get back to a normal schedule with Monday Night Raw on Monday night. Alright, excuse me. Alright, so let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time than I already wasted. So I'm hot. I want to try to run into the shower real quick, cool off, and then watch All In, have my sensible lunch, and then have my sensible dinner while I'm watching Saturday Night's Main Event. So I am not watching The Bash. I could care less for it. Alright, let's see if I can get my notes in order. Alright, so Smackdown wasn't a bad show. It starts out with Eli Drake. Yeah! That's not an insult. That's a fact of life. Alright, so Eli comes out, is all ready to face Seth freaking Rollins. Coming up tonight at Saturday Night's Main Event. He says predictions and spoilers are common themes in wrestling, including coming out of Paul Heyman's mouth. And, he says Paul seems to control some power like Seth Rollins, who needed some backup last week. So Eli gets a little bit serious, y'all, and he talks about Seth ordering his goons to try to take him out. So he talks about their match at Saturday's Main Event. He wants dignity, he wants justice in the American way, and he wants to hurt Seth freaking Rollins. And just because Seth isn't scared, it doesn't mean he's not going to get a beat down. And then we hear, ladies and gentlemen, so the Walrus, Paul Heyman, comes out, and he does his usual shtick. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And talks about the future of the Empire and himself, and that future is the future of the entire WWE industry, the wrestling industry. But as for Eli, Paul says, I see nothing because you have no future. Alright, then we hear the music of MFT, that's My Family Tree, that's Solo Mibuki, the nicest champion. He comes out with JC Mateo, the Samoan Kevin Nash. I know you used to love that when I said it in our chat last night. He looks like Kevin Nash, but Samoan. Nothing wrong with Kevin Nash, but, you know. Anyway, so Solo Sikoa, Hikuleo, JC Mateo, and Tonga Loa, excuse me. We're waiting for Tonga to come back. Yeah. We're waiting for him to come back. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so Solo comes out. Heyman's a little bit confused. Like, what are you doing here? Solo talks about how nothing has really changed for the wise man, who needs to get out of Dodge before he gets put through a table again, like he did in pretty much his hometown of Madison Square Garden in New York City. So Heyman does what he's told, gets out of there. He starts walking out, and then Solo mocks Eli before saying, "I got rid of Jacob Fatu." Yeah, I mean. So Eli is offered the same chance to get out of Dodge, but Eli's like, I'm not gonna leave. So then MFT does his best Shield impersonation and surrounds the ring. Even though Hikuleo was on the floor, he didn't really do much. He just stood there. And then Solo, JC Mateo, and Tonga Loa, they get in the ring. They try to beat down Eli, but then Jimmy Uso throws in a chair. Like, where'd this chair come from? And then we see Jimmy. He must have been under the ring somewhere. So he throws it in, makes the saves, and Eli and Jimmy send back to back against MFT. Stops him momentarily, and then Nicholas Aldis comes out and says, "Hey, I'm going to do my best Teddy Long impersonation, player. You know, prayers to Teddy Long. He lost his son over the weekend, over the last couple of days, so we got, my condolences go out to Teddy Long, a Hall of Famer, a great man. Sadly, he lost his son. So Nick Aldis comes out, makes a tag team match with MFT, taking on Eli and Jimmy, so it's going to be I believe it's going to be JC Mateo and Tonga Loa taking on Eli and Jimmy. Eli, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, moving on. So we got that. So our first segment I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, we go to the back, we see Horseface Charlotte Flair dressed as a cowgirl. Yeehaw. Not a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, mind you. But speaking of cheerleaders, we have Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. She comes up to Charlotte, and they seem to be on the same page. They're coexisting, but can they continue to coexist on Sunday with the women's tag team titles? So Lexi doesn't think Charlotte will be a great cheerleader, though Charlotte says, "I cheer for me!" Okay. Thinking you're doing your best Beyonce impersonation there, but failed that. So we get that. So that leads into a fatal 4-way match between the singles participants in the match. So we had the one half of the women's tag team champions, Roxanne Perez, looking scrumptious. We had Sol Ruka, the Resident Surfer Girl, the women's North American champion, who came out with her partner Delta to form Delta Ruka. We had Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss, and my second amazingly hot Asian wife. We all know her. You love her. She loves retweeting me a lot. Thank you, Kyrie. And that is my second wife, Kyrie Zane, along with my first amazingly hot Asian wife. You know her, you love her. You can't get enough of her, because nobody is ready for her except me and my dick. And that's Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka except my dick. We know that. Alright. This was a pretty good match. We got a good old-fashioned Tower of Doom spot. You love to see that. Everybody gets knocked down. I knew there was going to be a Soul Snatcher coming. And we got a top rope double stomp connects on Sol Ruka. I think it was by Lexi. And then Sol Ruka comes out of nowhere. Double Soul Snatcher! That was epic. Impressive. So she gets that. Looked like she was about to get the win on Roxanne Perez. But then, I'm going to see if I can do this. Raquel Rodriguez. It's hard to do it with teeth now, you know. It's a good thing. So Raquel Rodriguez breaks up the cover. And then Delta comes in. She starts a big cat fight on the floor with her. And then Charlotte comes around, starts to clean house. And then Lexi is down, and Kyrie goes up for the insane elbow. And she goes for it, but Lexi got her feet up. And then she picks up Kyrie and kind of hits a sloppy, botched-looking Sister Abigail DDT. Because she had the move on, and then it looked like Kyrie reversed it, and then Lexi just hit her with a DDT. So I don't know, the finish was a little bit botchy. You know, people are like, Kyrie's a botch machine. Shut up. Shut up. And that's that. So, Miss Bliss gets the win in exactly 10 minutes. And we'll see if that constitutes them getting the belts tomorrow night. I don't think so. I think I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going with the Kabuki Warriors, my Asian wives. I might be biased, but I don't give a fuck. But I wouldn't be mad if Lexi and Charlotte win the belts. I would not be mad about it, but I'd rather go with Asuka and Kyrie because it kind of fits the storyline that Asuka will get the belt. Io's all, you know, so like, yeah, Io's son, Kyrie's son, you win belts, and we have more belts, we're back in damage control. And then Asuka reminds Io, there is no damage control. And then Asuka gets all mad, and Io's like, what the fuck? And that leads to Asuka versus Io at SummerSlam for the Raw World Title. Io wins. Kyrie kind of turns with Asuka on Io. So, but then again, who knows at this point? All right, so that match was all right. 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right, then we get an Evolution rundown, and we get that. All right, next match at the gate for the tag team titles, player. We have the Street Profits coming out in their best Texas gear. Montez Ford doing his his homage to the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So that was pretty damn nice. They take on the Wyatt Six of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Uncle Howdy, and Nikki Cross were on the ramp looking on. I like how Montez used the 1997 version of Shawn Michaels gear. That was nice. That was very nice. Back and forth match they went. Dawkins, actually, Dexter sends Dawkins into the announcer's table. Ow. I think that was when, I don't know if that was when, Joe Tessitore got knocked down. But anyway. Then we come back. Dawkins, gets over for the hot tag to Montez Ford. He cleans house. A spine buster cuts him off pretty in a hurry for a near fall. But he goes up top, hits the Doomsday Blockbuster for a near fall on Joe Gacy. And then the big red Eric Rowan comes out and takes out Montez Ford. But then his partner Angelo Dawkins with a pounce! Period. Over the timekeeper's area. He didn't go into it, he went over it. And then Montez goes up top. He hit the frog splash from the heavens. But he couldn't get the cover, obviously. So he goes for it again, and no water in the pool for you, sir. He missed it, and then Dexter and Joe Gacy hit an assisted sit-up powerbomb suplex neckbreaker combo, or trio combo, whatever you want to call it, on Montez. Go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. We have new Smackdown Tag Team Champions. You love to see it. The Wyatt Six. They came to do what they said they were going to do. Get the belts that were pretty much owed to them. Bray is smiling down on them. It's just a great time. So the Wyatt Six are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and now the SmackDown Tag Team Division is pretty much fucked. And that's that. So, to pay homage to Bray, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Bray, follow the buzzards. Yes, we love you, Bray. We miss you every day, but we follow the buzzards every day for you. Okay, we got that. Okay. Alright, so the Wyatt Six are the new champs, and we'll see how long they hold them for. And that's that. I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. And like I said, after the match, we go to the back, we see Fraxium, we see DIY, the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY come in, like I said before, and Andrade and Ray Phoenix, they come in, they start mocking DIY, says, oh, we should have listened to us before! So Ray Phoenix and Andrade come in to mock them, and then Ciampa goes into another tailspin, he goes into a humongous, rant, because he's a psycho killer, So, I don't know what's going to happen, who's next on the list to face Gacy and Dexter. Well, you assume that the Street Profits will get their rematch, but then you got the Yes Boys, you got Los Lobos looking around the corner. If anybody beats them, I'd probably say maybe DIY. I could care less, but that's that. Alright, so I gave that little segment 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we move on. Alright, then we get a video for Goldberg and Walter for the Royal World title tonight on Saturday Night's Main Event. Should be a quick match, hopefully. God forbid Goldberg wins the title tonight. I hope not. We move on. Alright, then we're setting up some musical equipment. We're going to get a performance by the great man himself, Jelly Roll. He's about to sing his new song, or his new song, live for us. But then, thankfully, this guy comes out. I hate saying his name, but thankfully he came out. Logan Small cuts him off. And he gets in the ring. He's like, I don't like celebrities and influencers coming into my world. Meaning wrestling, because it's disrespectful to the wrestlers like him. Hypocrite much? Anyway, so Logan starts talking about his podcast, and he signed a new deal. Big fucking whoop there. But then Joe was like, hold on, shut up! And he says, nobody cares about your stupid podcast. And then Logan Paul calls Jelly Roll an outsider. And that's that. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to run to the bathroom for a second. I'll be right back. Woo! Yeah, I almost fell. You know, the guild just came from the bathroom and woo! You should have saw what he was cooking. Yes, I did. Yes, I sprayed, woman. Yeah, it stinks like you're, you know what. Anyway. I'm back. Alright, so where do we leave off? Alright, so Logan Paul calls Jelly Roll an outsider, and that pissed off this man, the man with big fucking quads, that's Randy Orton, and his monotonous voice! Randy! Your quads are thick, Randy! Alright, so he comes out, goes on a humongous shoot. It wasn't a rant, it was a shoot. Basically ranting about how Logan Paul is the real outsider. Calls him, I think he called him a fucking bitch. Damn. And basically, Jelly Roll deserves respect. But then, out of nowhere, Papucho, Drew McIntyre, comes from behind and Claymore's Randy's jaw completely off his body. And then Drew's taken out by security. So then Logan Paul jumps Randy Orton. And then Jelly Roll is like, argh, grabs Logan Paul by the hair, is like, yanks him back, get him out of here. And then Logan Paul is taken out by security, but stops to break Jelly Roll's instruments. Right, this ain't Nirvana. Come on now. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna get a tag team match out of this. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll teaming up against Logan Paul and an unnamed partner. Maybe Jake Paul comes out. I don't know. I hope not, but it looks like we're gonna get a tag team match, or possibly we may get Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll or some weird fucking garbage. But we got that. Alright, let me move on. from there. Alright, so I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Then after the break, we see Randy and Jerry Roll in the back. And Randy's like, you did very good out there, and I want you to be in my corner on Saturday night's main event when I take out Drew McIntyre. And Jerry Roll's like, oh, I will be in honor. Nobody cares. Watch Jerry Roll helps Randy beat Papucho tonight. Bet you nothing. But I hope Logan Paul's on the show tonight to take out Jerry Roll. We'll squish him like the Joey in the Jerry Roll. Squish him and turn him into jam. Or some shit like that. Alright, so we got all that. Let me move on. Alright, then we go to our next match. Ron Killings takes on Mr. Zelina Vega. That's Aleister Black. 2-minute garbage fest. This match sucked. Truth hits the lie detector, and then Aleister goes outside, gets sent into the ring post hard. Ow! And then Ron grabs a chair. Aleister stops that, and then the referee takes that away. And then when he turns around, R-Truth grabs a fruit roll-up. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. He gets out of the ring really quick. Same for the referee. And then Aleister Black just goes on a humongous, like, pissy piss event. He's like, shut fucking you! Man, he was mad. Then he goes in the back. He finds Poppy Priest, fucks him up. I'm like, sucks to be you, Poppy Priest. So all that, I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. Yeah, because Aleister wanted to beat the crap out of R-Truth in the back. He runs into Poppy Priest, who stopped the beatdown, but then he got beat down himself. We got that. Alright, then we have Bad News Wade Barrett in the ring. He's having a good time because he's got Trish Stratus, the legend, and the SmackDown Women's Champion is Tiffy Time! Daddy! Why? You see me in the ring with Trish? Yes, you and Trish look very nice. Very nice. Stop looking at Trish, Daddy! You... Never mind. Yeah, that's right. Calm down. Which we all know, Daddy's got other priorities. What'd you say? No, nothing, sunshine. Yeah. Alright, so Tiffy tells Trish, I picked you because I've beaten basically everybody else, so I'm like, alright, why not go to the Legends roster and see if we can beat old farts like Lita and, Trish Stratus. He's like, why wouldn't I want to face one of the best of all time, 7-time, women's champion, trying to go for 8. Trish says, I don't need to win the title to be the best ever, but when I do, you will probably, you're gonna leave with nothing. And then Tiffy says, I learned about you on those VHS tapes. Oh, we're going back to 99 here. I wonder what VHS tapes, though. Don't answer that. With Trish asking if have you heard of TikTok? Or heard that on TikTok. So Trish praises Tiffy, but says, I'm going to be winning my 8th title. And then out of nowhere, the crazy one proceed with caution. Naomi comes out, teases a little bit of a cash-in, but then Jade Cargill comes out and jumps Naomi from behind. They have a little cat fight. We have that. So, looks like at SummerSlam, we got Jade versus Naomi. I think, actually, no, take that back. Jade versus Tiffy Tiff, but I think Naomi's going to screw it up, and he's going to cash in during the match, make it a triple threat. She wins the title, or what I think is going to be the plan, Jade beats Tiffy Tiff to win the SmackDown Women's title, but then, 5 seconds after that, she gets attacked by Naomi. She tells the referee, I want to cash in! She cashes in and wins the belt in 2 minutes. So by August the 1st, August the 2nd, August the 3rd, we're going to have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Mark my words, and that will be Naomi. For, I believe, the second or third time. Mark my words on that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get a Saturday's main event rundown before our main event of SmackDown. a tag team match player, Jimmy Uso, teaming up with Eli Drake, yeah, for the first time ever, taking on Solo Mibuki, the United States Champion, and JC Mateo. So Tonga, who's not there. So we had Tonga Loa and Hikuleo at ringside. And Solo pulls Jimmy out to the floor, hits a Samoan drop on the announcer's table. Ow. And we go to break. We come back. Solo hits the running Maga attack in the corner. Goes for a second one and missed. Jimmy flips out of a suplex. Hits an enziguri and got the hot tag to Eli. Hits the jumping neckbreaker out of the corner on JC Mateo, followed by the jumping top rope elbow. Yeah. And then Solo comes in with the Superfly Splash of his own for a near fall. Take that back. Jimmy hit that, and Solo had to make the save. Then the fight goes outside, but then my name is Paul Heyman is around the timekeeper's area with his phone. Not calling Roman, probably calling up for MFT backup. So he's there yelling at Jimmy. He's like, come on, Cole, go ahead! And at the scratch, lets Hikuleo kick Eli right in the face with a big boot. And then Jimmy rolls up Solo to get the win for his team. So Jimmy and Eli get the win after after Hikuleo does his business. And then Jimmy's like, alright, fruit roll up, 1, 2, 3. So they get the win in 9 minutes. And then after the match, Eli drops Solo with the BFT, but then Braun Breaker with a 6 spear, cut him in half again, and then Bronson Reed is already up top. He comes up with a Tsunami, and then basically lays Eli out, and we fade to black, and that's it. So the Empire once again strikes again. So the Empire strikes again, and we'll see what happens tonight at Saturday Night's main event. And then this Monday night on Raw, as after we get done with Evolution, we're on the road to SummerSlam in pretty much 3 weeks. So we got that. Alright, all in all, it was a pretty decent SmackDown. I'm going to give it a standard 7 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comments section. And like Quick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. All In is about to start in about 5 minutes from now. Should be a great show. And our Great American Bash is about to start as well. So I'm watching All In for the next 4 hours. I'm going to eat my lunch in a little bit in between the matches. Sucks that Adam Cole is not the TNT champion anymore. We'll see who becomes the interim TNT champion between Danny Garcia, Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes, and Kyle Fletcher. I think it'll be Fletcher. We'll see what happens with that. Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné should be a great one, a banger. Moxley and the Hangman in a Texas Death Match, bloody as fuck. The Bucks taking on Swerve and Ocean Spray. That should be a banger as well. All In, I think, will be the pay-per-view of pretty much the pay-per-view of the summer. But we got SummerSlam coming up in 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens with that. So I will be back later tonight. Well, after Saturday Night's main event, I will be back with your official All In and Great American Bash review, a double review for that ass on my Peter Joseph channel. And then tomorrow, we'll talk about Saturday Night's main event. We'll do Evolution predictions. And then Sunday night, after Evolution goes off the air, your official Evolution 2 review. And then Monday afternoon, late Monday afternoon, we'll talk about TNA, leading into Monday Night Raw to start a new week of wrestling. And don't forget, next Sunday, we got Slammiversary next Sunday night on pay-per-view. So we're going to do predictions for that. We will do a review of that as well. And that's that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching and enjoy 7 hours of wrestling. Get your beer, get your food accordingly. Have fun. We'll talk about it later tonight. And that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Right here on the on the Killer Demons channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time. If you're not down with that, well, fuck you, man! That's it. I'm out. Peace, bitches.